Hello and welcome to Rootstock, the 100% Salesforce native ERP that's purpose-built for manufacturers and distributors. In this video, I'll be focusing on inventory costing. I'll be showcasing how on top of the purchase price, we can also capture landed costs such as freight and tariffs that will help us give accurate visibility into our actual cost of goods sold and actual gross margins. The way that we can help capture landed costs is really an extension to our existing purchasing process. So we'll have purchase orders that will be continue to be created via MRP. Those purchase orders will be submitted out to vendors. And then before we actually receive those purchase orders, we can capture those additional costs and get more accurate visibility into what this is actually costing us to receive these into our warehouse. Now, this starts with creating what we call a landed cost bill of lading. What we can do is create an inbound shipment, and we can consolidate multiple purchase orders and multiple items onto a single record, and then we can attach multiple costs to this record and then apportion them accordingly. So first and foremost, now that we have our landed cost bill of lading, we can add our items. We can take all the items from both of these purchase orders, and we can start building out a container that's going to manage all these items, the purchase price, the weight of these items, and then use those as factors to reapportion the costs that we're facing in order to bring that into our warehouse. So just like that, I have a few items now added. Now I'll add the remaining items so we could have multiple purchase orders captured onto this single record. So now I have all of my items from both of these purchase orders. We can see all 5 of those items currently listed here, the total weight of those items, the quantity that's being purchased, the PO value, so on and so forth. So now we can begin adding in landed cost categories. So we'll define all of the different types of landed costs that can be captured. For example, freight, we might say that we are getting a $1,200 freight bill. We're expecting a $1,200 freight bill, and then that is going to then get apportioned in accordingly. So it's as simple as that, to take that $1,200 in freight, add that as a new landed cost into this record. And there's other ways that we can capture that as well. For example, we might come across customs fees. And those custom fees, rather than entering the actual amount, maybe we want to enter a cost factor. Maybe we expect to get charged about $12.50 per pound of material that we're bringing in. That can automatically calculate our estimation for that custom fees cost and then bring that in accordingly. Now, for things like tariffs, you'll notice that we could also estimate it based on a percentage. So in this case, if we're expecting a 15% tariff on the $15,000 worth of goods that we're purchasing, we can automatically estimate and calculate that tariff accordingly. Once all of our landed costs are loaded, we can then apportion these into the cost of these items. So it's as simple as running the apportionment. And now Rootstock is doing all the complex math and cost allocation in the background. And based on the cost of the items, based on the weight of the items, we can proportionately allocate all of those landed costs that we attach to that landed cost bill of lading record. And now we've detailed out those charges and updated the cost once those items are now received into the system. So let's take for example, I'm now going to receive in this controller processing board. And I'll do this the same way as I was receive a standard purchase order. And now when I receive this item into inventory, we'll be able to see that full costing picture end to end. So not only do I now have a new unit of inventory in my warehouse loaded into Rootstock, but we can see the costing of that. This item now has an average cost that is more than what we originally purchased. So you're seeing firsthand how we can take that purchase price and then layer that purchase price with additional costs such as freight, tariffs, brokerage, customs, whatever that might be. And all of this is now going to get consumed into a top level production process and build into a final top level total cost of goods sold, which is going to give us even greater visibility into our actual margins as a business. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to your account executive.